What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to the PE Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. We've got a lot of great information for you guys, in addition to an interesting discussion at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for the full video for that. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the news. So Monster Jam Crush It! Officially announced for the Nintendo Switch, out October 31st. Retailers have begun listings for a while now, but Monster Jam Crush It! Has finally been officially announced for the Nintendo Switch. Game Mill Entertainment will publish the title on October 31st. Here's an overview of the game. Monster Jam Crush It! Features a massive variety of game modes that capture the unexpected, unscripted, and unforgettable moments that only Monster Jam can create. Climb the online leaderboards in single-player classic Monster Jam truck races, freestyle competitions, and special physics-based skill challenges across 96 levels. There are 25 fully licensed and detailed trucks to choose from, including fan favorites like Gravedigger, Max D, Monster Mutt, and more. All of this raw automotive power is brought to life with a cinematic live event feel in real-life stadiums like Sam Boyd Stadium, home of the Monster Jam World Finals, as well as other outdoor environments. Monster Jam Crush It! Will cost $39.99. Select retailers will be selling a physical version, though it will be distributed on the eShop as well, and you guys are checking out the trailer. So monster trucks and all that were really big when I was a kid. I don't know how big they are now, but Gravedigger and all of these guys that are on here, or all these trucks more like it, that are on here, were so big when I was a kid. I used to always see people wearing monster truck, like Gravedigger shirts and all that stuff. It was just something that really appealed to kids because you have these huge trucks just crushing things out there. I don't know how big the appeal is now at this point. Maybe in some parts of the South, and maybe kind of where I live in more of rural, areas than not like Los Angeles. I live like outside of that, so maybe it's not popular there in populated cities, but I know in rural areas that it's still somewhat popular. So what do you guys think about Monster Jam? Will you be picking it up? I know this series has been going back for a long time as far as the monster trucks and racing and crushing things and all that. So let me know what you guys think about this. Have you guys ever played any of these? Because I have never played a monster truck game. I think I played like Destruction Derby back in the day, and I thought that was pretty cool, but that's not the same as this right here. So let me know what you guys think about Monster Jam Crush It! For the Nintendo Switch, launching on October 31st. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. There was more information on the NPD report that I went over in terms of Nintendo having the biggest launch as far as for a platform, any Nintendo platform since 1995. There was also more information from the same analyst about single-player games and how they're having trouble selling in the NPD. So here's what that analyst did have to say on the matter. Quote, the top selling games in the console market at the moment are primarily service-based games that promise significant or even unlimited hours of gameplay. The analyst explained to GamesBeat, single-player, non-service-based games have to be nearly perfect in execution, not only with the game itself, but also in the marketing and promotion around the game to get to the top of the charts. It is very difficult for the $60 single-player game to hit the volumes in a launch month that service-based games can reach, even if they have been in the market for quite some time. So this is something that we've actually known for a while, and why single player games have pretty much been shifted off in lieu of multiplayer games, in lieu of virtual currency and NBA 2K18, and Grand Theft Auto has Grand Theft Auto Online. Like, all of the big games nowadays have single player and multiplayer. They have both of the experiences, and a lot of them really have crappy single players and all out multiplayers with microtransactions and all that stuff, because that's what the market has been leaning towards as far as consumers, the mass amount of consumers wanting to buy, whether it's Madden, whether it's FIFA, whether it's like Star Wars or any of the games that come up to the top. You always see that. And even going over to the Nintendo side, you have stuff like Splatoon, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. These are the type of games that you're going to see in the top NPD charts. Now, I will say that Nintendo is sometimes the exception to the rule. I know The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has been on there for many months, but like you said, you have to have perfect execution. It has to be the perfect storm of things to happen. The marketing, and Legend of Zelda's marketing was absolutely phenomenal. Probably the best marketing for a Nintendo game maybe ever. I don't think I've seen a better marketing campaign and launch than The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They just kind of held on to everything. They blitzed us with information over the past couple years, and then they said, hey, get it on this shiny new Switch to where you can play Legend of Zelda anywhere that you want in this wide, huge open world. They have this song, Dreamers, and everything, the Super Bowl commercial. Everything was set up for that game to do well, and it's continuing to do well, charting in the NPD. So, like he says, it has to be pretty much a perfect storm of marketing and sales and the Nintendo Switch system. I mean, there has to be a lot of things going for you. So yes, we're going to see a lot more multiplayer games. We're going to see a lot more microtransactions. We're going to see a lot of developers doing these things because these are the things that get you into the top of the NPD charts based on all the top games here. So what do you guys think about the demise of typical single-player games? I'm still glad Nintendo does it sometimes. Obviously, we do have Super Mario Odyssey that's coming out. Not sure if you can really qualify that as a multiplayer game. We do have Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that's coming out, but chances of Xenoblade actually topping the charts for a long time is probably a little bit suspect, probably not going to happen, but Super Mario Odyssey has a very good chance to be that next big single-player experience that can be in the top of the charts for a long time. And obviously, this is just NPD for America or for the US, and probably Europe follows the same thing. In Japan, single-player games can top the charts for very long periods of time. We've seen it many times before. We're probably going to see Dragon Quest on the 3DS top the charts for a very long time as well. So what do you guys think about this as far as the news in single-player? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the last topic here, I wanted to further explain myself when it came to the whole no port begging for Japanese games. Now, I thought I did a pretty good job of explaining myself as far as what I wanted to do, but I think some people misunderstood what I was saying, and we had a little bit of a dislike ratio. Not bad. Most people knew and understood what I was saying, but some people were a little upset because I had just said, like the previous video or something like that, like, hey, if you want Sword Art Online, The Fatal Bullet, make sure you go let Bandai Namco know. So I was thinking about things since then, and I'm thinking about Bandai Namco. It seems to be just this developer in particular when it comes to port begging or when it comes to Nintendo Switch. All the other developers so far, whether it's Square Enix, Koei Tecmo, all the ones in Japan are pretty much saying, yeah, we're bringing out stuff. Now, Bandai Namco has even said to themselves that they're going to be bringing out game after game or announcement after announcement. My issue mainly is with them basically kind of like asking us to port beg or trying to drum up fake hype or whatever the case is. And it was purely like hypothetical if it's not a marketing ploy, which I think that it is, with them saying, oh, well, if fans ask for Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, we'll do it. If fans ask for Dragon Ball FighterZ Z, we'll do it then. You know, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I look at the landscape. Like I said, it all goes back to landscape and what's going on in Japan. In Japan, you know good and well that people like handheld systems. They like that, and that's the reason why the Nintendo Switch is pretty much destroying any other system out on there, and any other home console for sure. These are the best sales that we've seen from a home console pretty much since, like, what, the Wii maybe? I'd probably say that's the last system in Japan that actually sold anywhere near as good as this, and even then, even with that, the Nintendo Switch has more of a capability to do better than the Wii, because I think that sold around 12 to 13 million in Japan. It has a way better potential to do better than that because the 3DS blew out, like absolutely blew out the Wii in sales in Japan and even beat the PS2 in sales in Japan. So that's the 3DS that we're talking about here, and Nintendo Switch is off to a way hotter start than the Nintendo 3DS. So the reason why I'm saying this is that because I don't feel that we should have to port beg for a Japanese game. If a Japanese developer doesn't understand the landscape of their own country, if they don't understand that the Xbox One has a DOA box in Japan, you can look at a lot of the sales of a lot of these games from Japanese developers, and you can clearly see that the Xbox One is not performing up to its 30-something million install base, as far as even worldwide, when they're selling their games outside of there. So that's all I was saying. I wasn't trying to say that these games necessarily shouldn't come to the Xbox One, and I wasn't trying to say that you guys, all of you guys, shouldn't go out there and potentially ask Bandai Namco or whatever the case is for port begging. All I'm saying is that I'm no longer going to sit there and push the narrative of port begging when it's pretty much clear that in Japan, that the Nintendo Switch is going to be a massive success. Now, I can understand from a Western development standpoint as far as what they're trying to do with some of their games, why some of the games don't come over. It makes sense, and home consoles are still really big. The Xbox is still really big as far as America goes in terms of sales and all that, and in Europe, it's more PlayStation, but they definitely have that Xbox base as well. But in Japan, there really is no Xbox base at all. So you're pretty much cutting out a chunk of potential sales that you could get if you're sitting here and saying, oh, well, they have to port bag. For a Japanese game, I just find that ridiculous. So that's the reason why I said that in the first place. Not because I think that you guys shouldn't ask for it or I feel that it won't work. Heck, I do think that it worked. I just feel that it's not fun, or I just think that it's stupid to port bag for a Japanese game. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous that you'd have to port bag for the hottest system in Japan for a Japanese game to come to that system when the system that you're releasing it on in Japan is DOA when it comes to the Xbox One. The PS4 isn't essentially lighting up the charts. Now, I know you're trying to sell your game in America and all that, but look at the landscape. Like I've said before, how many Japanese games are selling big on the PS4 and Xbox One in America? Look at the NPD charts. All you see for the most part is Western games, is NBA and Madden and FIFA and all of that stuff like that. You rarely see any of these Japanese games. However, with the Nintendo Switch, we've already seen quite a number of developers have success even not bringing their AAA stuff when it comes to third-party developers. So when we finally do get that stuff, imagine what they can do on the system, not only domestically as far as Japan goes, but also worldwide. That's all I was saying there. That's all I was saying there. Now, I understand it takes time to develop games. I even said that with Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, but in my opinion, we shouldn't have to have a marketing ploy to drum up more hype for it. You should be encouraging and be positive about it if you're going to do it, which I think that they are. So maybe my disagreement is more about their marketing or about what they're trying to do with the game, more so than what's actually happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's really all it came down to. I wasn't trying to say that you guys shouldn't, and I wasn't trying to be a hypocrite either, because I understand that some of you guys kind of saw it that way. But like I said many times, like a Japanese game, especially big Japanese games from Bandai Namco and from all these different developers, we shouldn't have to ask for it on Nintendo Switch. It should be coming to Nintendo Switch. They should do what they can to put it out on there, because you have a unique opportunity to put your game out on a system that can be played anywhere. Therefore, with adults who travel for business, who go out to places, who vacation, who do things, they have more opportunities to play your game, and it's sitting there at home with a bunch of other games on the shelf that could literally be overtaken at any point, considering how many big games come out all the time. So that's all I was trying to say. Sorry if it seemed confusing to you guys at first or anything. I wasn't trying to do that at all. So let me know what you guys think about it now that I've kind of refined my points a little bit, and I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the matter below. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, be entered into win some awesome prizes each month. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat and $10 prize eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest Japanese, Nintendo, and RPG gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.